Hey there, history buffs. Today let's dive back into October 1962. It was the closest the world has ever come to nuclear annihilation. Yes, I'm talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Imagine this. The Cold War is at its peak. The United States and the Soviet Union are nose to nose, both armed with enough nuclear firepower to obliterate the planet several times over. Then, in a bold and provocative move, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev decides to place nuclear missiles in Cuba. Now, why Cuba? Well, it's only 90 miles off the coast of Florida, practically America's backyard. To the United States, this was a direct threat. President John F. Kennedy wasn't about to take it lying down. On October 14, 1962, American spy planes captured photographic evidence of these missile sites under construction. The clock was now ticking. For 13 excruciating days, the world held its breath. Kennedy and his team of advisors, known as XCOM, debated their options. A full-scale invasion of Cuba, a surgical airstrike, or maybe a naval blockade. On October 22nd, Kennedy addressed the nation and the world, announcing the discovery of the missiles and the imposition of a naval quarantine around Cuba. He demanded the removal of the missiles and warned that any attack from Cuba would be met with a full retaliatory response against the Soviet Union. Tensions escalated. Soviet ships approached the quarantine line, and the world teetered on the brink of disaster. But behind the scenes, frantic diplomacy was at work. In Moscow, Khrushchev and his advisors were equally anxious. They knew a nuclear war would mean mutual destruction, not just for the US and the USSR, but for the entire world. Finally, on October 28th, an agreement was reached. The Soviets would dismantle their missiles in Cuba, and in a secret deal, the US would remove its missiles from Turkey. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a stark reminder of how fragile our existence can be. It was a moment when cooler heads prevailed and humanity stepped back from the brink of extinction. So, next time you hear about international tensions, remember the lessons from 1962. Diplomacy, communication, and understanding can make all the difference. Thanks for tuning in and stay curious.